What's up, Frank? You guys
Hi.
should be live.
I'm live?
Are we live? Nice. Looks like we're live. All right. And we are here.
Ha
Ha-ha!
Introduce the show.
Yes.
We are live, yes.
Yes. All right. Well, welcome to our episode of the GITV live show on February 4th, 2014?
That would be, yes, currently it is
2014. Yeah. All right. So it's going to be a really fun live show. I want to just start out by mentioning the fact that Josh is moving the
There you go.
camera. Okay. All right. That we have Bob's Rebel Training Camp coming up this weekend on February 8th at Game Pod Combat Zone in Antioch, California. Now, make sure to get your tickets very soon because it is actually almost filled up. But we do have some tickets held aside for walk-on players because we always do seem to get walk-on players. But it is going to cost $5 to $10 more if you decide to be a walk-on player instead of registering with us ahead of time. So you are... Bob looks guilty. Okay. Thank you. But yeah, make sure to head out to GamePod Combat Zone and sign up for my Rebel Training Camp this weekend. Not only for the fact is it going to be fun, but we're also... Frank? Oh. But we're also going to be having military and law enforcement training fellows there. Staff Sergeant Eric and Staff Sergeant Brad. So we are going to get some training in that you can take advantage of. And not only that, but Lancer Tactical is sponsoring this event, and they have given us so much stuff to give away to you.
A whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. There's a very, very good possibility that if you go to the event, you're probably going to be walking away with something. I guess we can go over that in a little bit. But, Josh, do you have any things to mention up front?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. There is a game coming up called Operation Reclamation 2 happening on the East Coast, which we'll be heading out to next weekend. I don't know what I'm telling you because the tickets are already all sold out. So I guess if I'm telling you this, sorry. Hopefully you'll have to get it next time.
I was thinking that myself. I was like, why are you going over there?
But but I mean, for all the people who are going out there, it's going to be a lot of fun. If you aren't familiar with the game, it is going to be happening in X Zone, which is in Richmond, Virginia. It's going to be a lot of fun. We hope to have people come out and hang out with us. And you should probably look into making the next one because it's going to be pretty awesome. I saw some pictures of the field, how big it's gotten.
They added 70 acres.
I know. It's crazy huge. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting out there and playing. So if you guys have already bought your tickets, cool. I'll see you guys there. If you didn't, sorry. Try to make the next one.
Actually, I do have something to mention about it because we do have a question. Hey, Bob, are you going to Operation Reclamation 2? Technically, I am not because I will not be there. So technically, yeah. But
yeah, it's usually technically not being there means yes.
But we do have Josh Predator 1, and we also are going to have, I believe, Daniel.
Daniel and Mark are both going out.
Dynamic duo. That'll be very interesting.
So it's going to be me with a couple of the Asian fellows heading out there.
Had to go there.
Just saying, nothing wrong with the Asian people, man. I'm always on planes with Asian people. I feel like all the time. Every time I go somewhere,
get Frank in there.
Frank's over here eating some cake, hanging out.
That's a good cut. That's fun.
Happy birthday, Dancing Z.
Yeah. It is Xavier's birthday.
Oh man!
If you've watched any of our YouTube videos from the past, Z is the one who does a lot of flips and awesome stuff and dances.
I think he's the only
good throw too.
He's the only one that can do flips here. I think.
I mean, yeah, probably.
I can do one on trampoline, but he can do one on concrete.
Right.
So
yeah, with little to no effort. So it's pretty impressive. So Z, happy birthday if you're watching.
Happy birthday.
I know you're in the break room.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah. So moving on, we do have the standard stuff going on the website. Got the 14% off coupon code. So if you guys are getting those orders in, make sure you take advantage of that. No mystery boxes that are going up at the moment I can think of. Nothing on the slate. But we have some pretty cool new gear to talk about that's finally in, I should say. I've been waiting a little while to get it, and it's what I'm wearing. This is the LBX what is the 0094, excuse me. So the LBX 0094, and it is pretty awesome. As you can see, I have the multicam one on, and I believe we're going to be getting it in Woodland as well. Tan.
Woodland?
Or Coyote, Tan.
It's really good. We have it in Woodland right now. It
just
needs to go up. Tan and some of the other colors are going to be available in the coming months.
Definitely. So you're going to have color schemes for pretty much any environment that you're playing in, unless you play on snow, which I don't think there is a white 6094, to my knowledge.
Don't think so.
But there's always spray paint. With that being said, though, this is a pretty cool rig. I'm actually enjoying it so far. I got a plate in here, so it does sit a little more rigid, which I really enjoy. It has S&S precision pull tabs, which if you're a gearaholic like I am, these are a pretty neat little addition. Gearaholic. Yeah, I'm trying to get a word from the word whore.
Yeah, I was like, you're trying really hard.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm a gear whore. I love gear so much. So I'm excited though. It's cool, like to have these little tabs. They're just neat little tabs.
I would say Spencer kind of takes the cake on that one though.
Spencer knows a lot about gear.
A lot.
Yeah, he knows a significant amount about gear. Spencer's usually like, if I'm stunned about something, I usually go to Spencer to try to get an answer. But yeah, I would say within the marketing department, I'm probably the most versed in gear. I would think probably the marketing department. So
yeah, I'm not gonna make claims I can't back up. So
yeah,
we're gonna stop there.
But yeah, it's really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more of these. There is one thing I'm not super stoked about. They decided to sew on the magazine pouches instead of leaving it as a flat MOLLE real estate, which is cool, I guess. Like if you don't want to switch it out. For me personally, I love customizing my tactical rigs.
Agreed.
So I was a little bummed out about that. But then again, this is the very first iteration from a plate carrier from them. So I'm assuming we're going to be seeing a whole bunch more stuff coming out of them as the lineup goes along. But yeah, as an entry level thing, the quality feels really good. The fabric's nice. The padding's good. It holds plates. That's pretty nice.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have heard from some of the LBX,
so you guys can see it a little bit here.
The LBX Project Honor setups, they would actually have a plate carrier, and then if you have the sewn on version, you could actually replace the front with a different one.
I don't know if that's the intention.
The slicks, and then they had the ones that were sewn.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the intention for this one. It seems to me like this is supposed to be pretty much a straight, this is the rig, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it is not as easy to get. Oh, I guess maybe it's not too difficult to get this off of here.
We got these tabs.
Yeah, if you did want to put on a different front panel, like say you have the other one that has the MOLLE on it, you could do that. I mean, I guess in my mind, I was thinking that you would just get it like this without the MOLLE, the pouches, and just put on whatever you want, It's
funny because, I would be the same way where I would want to be able to customize it, but I'm probably just going to customize it to that setup.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of people honestly will end up running the 3 magazines. It's pretty standard. I mean, everybody's going so low, like high-speed
drag, the direction people are going now.
Yeah.
You see a plate carrier, there's 3 magazine pouches in front.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's cool. I personally don't like it, but that's my own personal preference. I mean, I think this is going to work for 90% of the people who are looking into getting a plate carrier, want something that's as cool as this, you know what I mean? So, other than that, yeah. I mean, the only other thing that I wanted was the little kangaroo pouch, just to be able to stuff stuff in there. It's nice to have your
5 bags
or a map or whatever. But other than that, I mean, this thing is pretty awesome. It looks just like everything you guys want it to. Comes with all pretty much the features you would expect. Comes from LBT, which is one of my favorite tactical gear manufacturers.
I do really like how they have the drag handle sewn in further down the back as opposed to just on top.
Right, I'll show you guys really quick. Can you see it now?
Yeah, so what we're talking about is the drag handle is not just sewn in here, it's sewn in here and all the way down to here. So that when you're dragging, there's a vastly smaller chance that the drag handle is itself going to rip out. They've basically reinforced in multiple different locations down the back. So that's a really nice feature, and you can see by that it's a very good piece of gear. I would like to actually respond to a couple comments that Frank needs to stay here for. First, yeah. Abide Azaro. Bob, you're amazing. Thank you. If you say 7 Airsoft's the best, I will give you a hypothetical cookie. I'll be expecting that hypothetical cookie in less than an hour. Next up, TF or T Fools Breh. Frank is a badass.
Hey,
thank you. Yeah, all right.
That's you.
Yeah, let's go back to that. Frank.
That's funny. Yeah, he's pretty badass. Yeah, that's a pretty accurate statement.
All right, and then. Oh, shoot, where's that other kid? Bob, can you say my name? It would honestly make my birthday. You guys don't want to all say it at once?
We could. We're going to all pronounce it differently, I think.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
All right, here we go.
Well, don't say it on 3. Say it like 1, 2, 3, say.
Okay.
1,
2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Liam Kaiser.
Oh, Liam Kaiser.
Wow. Happy birthday, Liam Kaiser.
Definitely.
Happy birthday.
All right.
The crew Gadg says, what is the point of LBX? Is it just low quality LBT? No, it's not just low quality LBT. This is the same fabric and materials that they're using throughout this with S&S precision hooks, bungee retention, all that kind of stuff. But it's just stitched somewhere else. So it's literally the stitching is not up to the military spec stitching. So basically the military has some very, very rigorous stitching requirements. And these just don't quite meet those. But then again, we're really not jumping out of helicopters and doing that kind of, well, not often, I should say.
Yeah.
So you don't really need it to be that over quality, I should say. And this works perfectly fine for pretty much everything I would ever need it for. So
yeah, God, I really want to skydive regularly again. But you are correct in that this, I mean, the LBT stuff is designed for, you know, folks operating overseas in combat environments, and, you know, being designed for airsoft is less rigorous, but at the same time, you're going to get some high quality gear because of the company that it's coming from.
Not just that too, but the price point is significantly lower.
Yeah, see, I don't know the price point for this. So.
Okay, so the price point for these, Frank, off the top of your head, you know, I think we were going with $150. Okay, so about 150, 160 bucks for a plate carrier, which is almost half the cost of what a 6094 is.
Oh yeah,
is like running for like
they're over 300.
380 something. 380 something, I believe, for the actual legit LBT made 6094, and they're also kind of hard to get a hold of sometimes, just because of availability. But these will not be that hard to get a hold of because they're going to be making a whole bunch of them. But now you're probably wondering, oh, they're just coming out with a plate carrier. That's pretty cool. Well, what else do they have? Well, they have a whole bunch of stuff that they're going to be coming out with specifically for us airsofters. I got to talk to Bo at SHOT Show, and Bo, if you're unfamiliar, is the
Silva.
Yeah, he was. He runs. Shouldn't say he runs. He's a part of American Milsim, and we spoke about all the new stuff that LBX is coming out with. They have camouflage patterns. We have BDUs, which Bob is holding right there in his hands.
Now, Jeb was actually speaking about this weekend.
Yes.
Now, he was actually saying this is one of the most, if not the most comfortable shirt he's ever worn for airsoft. And it's because LBX designed it, again, for airsoft.
Right.
So, pretty cool. I mean, I definitely want to get one of these myself.
Just so happens there's a bunch coming in for us marketing guys to use. So we haven't got those in yet, so I don't have a personal opinion on using the BDUs, but so far, the looks of them, and from what I'm seeing for people who are wearing them and their reviews, it's all very, very nice quality stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jet likes to run pretty high quality stuff when he's wearing all of his airsoft stuff.
Mostly.
And mostly. And he says he really likes them. I have yet to have a personal opinion on them, but the material, the fabric, the quality of it, like I said, I'm really big into gear. It all feels very good. I'm not seeing any issues with it. There's any stitching where it shouldn't be, pockets where they don't need to be. These are the pants. I can show you guys. Now, I know you guys probably initially first saw this when it came out under the Project Honor camo, which looks a little bit like this, which is this boxy shaded style.
It's for medium, long range engagements.
Right, yeah. And the principle behind this camouflage is a little different. People are like, why is there made up camouflages? And it's like, well, it just so happened that during the time period that these were made, the military was looking for a new camouflage, and technically is still looking for a new military camouflage. OCP has not been entirely designated as the new line. But with that being said, people were coming up with a lot of options and stuff to do things with, such as ADS ink. I don't think Medal of Honor may have outsourced their whole camouflage pattern. I'm not 100% sure on the story behind this. But it is still really, really cool. And the idea is to be able to break up your pattern at a distance. Now, for airsoft, we're a little more close range, so it's not like super necessary, but it's still a pretty awesome looking pattern. I hope to get a set myself too, just to have some color options, you know what I mean, camouflage wise, because it's pretty easy to see a bunch of people running the it's pretty easy to see a bunch of people running multi-cam at the field.
Thank God.
Days,
Thank God. So they've incorporated, this is probably one of my favorite things, and sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things to have on pants, because I stopped wearing knee pads for airsoft a long time ago, because after a couple John Liu operations, or Operation Landclaw Military Simulation Series operations, long phrase, basically my knee pads kept slipping down to my ankles, and I hated having to readjust them, especially in the middle of a firefight. So having these integrated knee pads into the pants is such a godsend, because you can put knee pads, or even what I did at first, which is like the little padding for your kitchen you can buy at Bed Bath & Beyond. You put those into the knee pad slots, and they're not going to move up or down. They're going to stay right where you need them the whole day. So after those experiences, I have never bought pants that don't have them in them, except for jeans.
Yeah, I can attest to that fact. With that being said, though, I do like the integrated knee, area. Obviously, it's really cool to be able to throw pads in there. I kind of like sometimes to run both. Like I'll put in the pad and throw my knee pad over it. And the reason why I like to do that is because the knee pads that I have, which are the Hatch X-Tac ones, I can kind of pivot on those a little bit, I guess, so to speak. Like they're hard enough to where you can kind of pivot on them. So when I'm kneeling, I'm not putting so much weight directly onto my knee, so to speak. It's more of a pivot point. I don't know how to describe it. It just works a little bit differently for me personally, but the knee pads are definitely an additionally awesome thing to have in pants.
Absolutely.
These are all like really cool cuts too. You got pockets for everything you would ever need. Now, the price point for a full set of BDUs, Frank, drum roll, is, off the top of your head, I want to say 70 per.
You gotta fail this one.
Yeah, Frank failed this test.
All right. Okay.
We should know it too. I don't know off the top of my head. I know that it's for a full set.
Just in, actually.
Is pretty good.
Yesterday.
Yeah, we literally just got these in like not even yesterday. So we're still getting them up on the website for you guys. So hopefully you will see Cry Mod some jeans, Bob.
DFA Viper. that would be right my style. Cry Mod some jeans.
I could totally see that.
I want to go.
Somebody's going to do that. Eventually.
I want to go up to Spencer and be like, all right, Spencer, look, I got a project you need to get it on. These jeans. Make them look like your pants. He'd probably just slug me in the face. He'd be like, no!
There's actually, there's a couple people who actually do that stitching for you.
Really?
You can send in like, okay, so you know the 3-color desert BDs we have for John Lou games?
Yeah.
You can send those in to get cry modded. And they will do it. And it's actually really legit. Like, it looks cool. It looks really cool.
Frank, do you remember when, like, rating your BDUs was, like, a really big thing where you take the pouches off and put them on the shoulder before, like, everyone's camo went like that? Okay, well, a number of different companies used to make your BDUs into rated BDUs, which is the same thing. They convert your BDUs into something else entirely that look cooler.
Yeah.
So I didn't know they're still doing that. That's nuts.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a super big service, but people are definitely still offering the ability to throw in those extra
Isn't that when they start putting like the jersey material in different spots to make it, and then they'll put
I'm not really sure what Bob was talking about, but yes.
That's the cry mod.
Yeah, the cry mod is the elastic that goes behind your knee to basically pull the knee pad right onto the back of your knee.
Yeah,
and
a couple of the EA guys had that done to their stuff.
It is pretty cool. It's definitely an interesting thing to do. But these already come with the knee pad ready to go, so you don't have to worry about
knee pad compartment.
Knee pad compartment, yeah. So you do have to buy additional, padding, whatever you want to put in there, but really not too big of a deal. With that being said,
Luke Schweitzer, read this for no reason.
Done.
All right.
Man, I feel like I lost like a second of my life.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now, obviously, you guys probably saw this earlier in the year out from us. This was, well, not from us, I should say from them. This is the, I don't know what the actually 100% designation for it is, but it's basically pretty much the same thing I'm wearing, just styled a bit differently. The Velcro up here is a tad different.
It does not have the bib.
Right, yeah, it does not, which I kind of like this to be able to put stuff right here.
Yeah,
I really do.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, for side plates and whatnot.
Now, I would like to make a mention. There have been some folks commenting on what they should get for CQB. Someone was talking about optics, someone was talking about flashlight. I would personally suggest getting a flashlight first because that'll be vastly more useful.
Yeah.
But having an optic is kind of nice, especially when you've just got a new gun. I know how I am after having fired the same gun for a long time. I instinctually know where it's going to go once I set the hop up, so I don't necessarily need a sight. But it does make the gun look a lot cooler.
I would agree with you on that one. I actually I didn't run a sight when we played our 2v2v2 game.
How dare you?
Well, I put a contour up there. I thought it might be cool footage. It turned out not to be that cool footage because it was shaking like crazy.
Oh, really?
I guess the ERG has recoil or something.
Whoa,
I didn't know about that. Yeah, super weird. But yeah, no, I definitely will say the aesthetic of the gun looks a lot more complete when you do have a sight on there. But Bob is 1,000% right. Get a flashlight for CQB, especially if it's a semi-dark area. You can literally laser beam your BBs. You can see them as they go. So a little easier.
Over 9,000%, correct?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Over 9,000?
Over 9,000%. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what does his power level say?
I would like to make a mention, now that we've gone a little further and we are talking about CQB, of the fact that at the Rebel Training Camp this weekend, February 8th, GamePod Combat Zone, Antioch, California, once again, Lancer Tax is sponsoring the event. It's giving away a lot of stuff. In fact, I would say an absurd amount of stuff, more than our last Rebel Training Camp. So this is going to be awesome, and I want to show you guys some of the things which they are giving away. So, Josh, if you would do me a favor and discuss this. I believe this is a speed attack plate carrier.
Right. This is the speed attack plate carrier, which is very reminiscent to something that reminds me of a certain company that you people will probably know and you can look up for yourself. But it is really cool. I like the fact that they're producing very, very affordable plate carriers. That's right here.
Now, what's cool about this is that...
It's the tag.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that?
What's cool about this is that we're not just giving away one of the, or not we. Lancer Tactical is not just giving away one of these. They're giving away multiple quantities of this plate carrier in addition to 2 other styles of plate carrier, which also are going to have multiple quantities given away.
Really? Wow, that's a lot of plate carriers.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing is, at the last Rebel training camp, like there was so much absurd stuff given away. If you were there, you had a very large possibility of walking home with something free. So that is really nice, and this event is going to take it further because of how much Lancer Tactical has, I wouldn't say donated, but given to us to give away.
Yeah.
Now, not only are we giving away, God, this is going to be tough. Are they giving away multiple different versions of their vests? They're also giving away, let's see, helmets, goggles, slings. I already said goggles, stickers, patches. I'm going to hurt myself.
Oh, those gun things.
No. Wait. Yes.
Oh,
multiple
nice.
different Lancer Tactical guns. But the list of stuff, oh yeah, rubber bayonets, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
There's probably about 11 different things on the list, and I am just so pleased. So, let's see. First and foremost of which, besides the plate carrier, we have got, I believe this is the Lancer Tactical Fast Helmet. It's got some really good padding that is modular. You can move it around. It's got a lot of Velcro real estate on the left and right side, as well as an NVG mount and rails on the left and right side. This is a really popular helmet, and I actually own something incredibly similar to this that's camoed up right now. So yeah, look forward to a lot of different ones of those you're going to see at the event itself.
Another really cool thing, too, about this that Lancer has always made a really good point about doing is really supporting newer players and helping them get out on the field for a lot less money. You know, Airsoft, not even 5 or 6 years ago, would have cost you an arm and a leg to get into.
Yeah.
And it's just really nice to see that Lancer's coming out, supporting the community, being out there for you guys to help out. So if you guys have been interested in Lancer products and you're like, oh, I'm not really sure, pull the trigger on it. They make great products. It's really good stuff, and it works. And it's Airsoft, and it's a lot of fun. So,
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of folks out there that say, like, oh, you have to have this play carrier if you're going to play Airsoft. And it's like, why do you have to have something that's real to play with, you know,
fake guns?
Yeah. So I'm a big believer in the fact that, you know, Airsoft is better for a wider market. Like the fact that you have like stuff that's in the really affordable end all the way up to the real steel stuff that is really expensive. It's great. The more options you have, it's going to make our community so much better.
Exactly, yeah.
And speaking of that, I've got the Lancer Tactical Mitch 2001 NVG helmet. What's cool about this is, one, it's texturized on top, so it looks a little bit more realistic. See the little tiny, yeah. It also does have rails on the left and right side. It doesn't have Velcro real estate, but it does have an NVG mount, or at least I guess bracket to put a mount in.
You know, they actually sell like Velcro. I don't think it's Lancer that sells them, but they sell Velcro kits for those helmets if you want to get them. So if you guys are interested in this and you're like,
you can always put Velcro on after the fact.
Always, yeah, exactly.
But what I like about this is that the cushions on this are actually just they're different. They're not, oh, these are modular, but they're just different, and I like the comfortability of these a little bit more.
So these helmets come with Velcro. It's just inside. Well, I probably didn't see it. I didn't see it. Just going to tell you guys right now. If you want the Velcro, it's on the inside of your helmet. So
I don't have a Mitch 2001.
I'm going to put it back. Go ahead, Bob. Keep going. Yeah.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, they're really cool. I'm happy that they included Velcro in there. I'm just saying.
Call me out on camera.
Might want to check inside.
Yeah.
I'm going to set this back over the
Yeah, I got it.
Cool. Yeah, so once again, still excited to have them coming out. It is exciting nonetheless. People were saying... Never mind what people were saying. I'm curious about this.
This is the Knights Armament Full Metal Gearbox PDW. Now, this has been very popular since it came out because it is so affordable. In fact, this honestly made probably my first half of the year because I had never seen, how may I put this, like a deal as awesome as this. Because, you know, you're not going to get, like, the end-all, be-all of Airsoft stuff for just $100, but like for the money they spent, or at least like for manufacturing, they spent all their money in the right places. You are going to get a plastic outside body or plastic external body, so you know you don't want to like what full metal gearbox.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I know we do have a full metal one.
Yeah, right? We do have full metal versions of this available, which are, you know, obviously cost more. But this full metal gearbox version, they spent a lot of their time designing a gearbox that was going to be competitive on the field right out of the box. So if you're just getting an Airsoft, you know, this is one of the best options available because actually, you know, the GITV Uncut video where we just gotten these and Daniel took them out to Tax City and just wrecked house.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
yes.
That's like one of the most popular videos on GITV Uncut.
God, no, he was wrecking
house.
With those guns. So. If you want to be competitive, you don't really need that much nowadays to get on the field and be competitive. I mean,
very affordable.
Yeah, exactly, and that's one of the great things that I like about Lancers. They bring diversity to the marketplace. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
We will be giving away multiple quantities of this gun. In addition, in addition to, let's say you are not necessarily a M4 style gun fan, this is an AK-74U. Let me just make sure. Yep, this is the full metal gearbox version. We are going to be Lance Tactical is going to be giving away multiple quantities of this. So if you do like AK style guns, you have that. And if you like AK style guns with, I don't know, maybe some tactical stuff on here. Let me get the full name.
How many guns are we giving away?
I don't want to say the exact quantity. Lancer Tactical Full Metal Gearbox Tactical AK. It probably doesn't help to put the box on here because there's really no picture of the gun. I just realized that just now.
Pretty box.
Yeah, but this AK does have a crane stock. It does have polymer rails up front, so you can attach a lot of different stuff. And it also does have a charging handle on the left and right side of the gun. So really cool. I'm just really happy that Lancer Tactical is going to be giving away I want to say so much stupid stuff, but it's not stupid because it's tactical. It's stupid because it's so much.
A lot of it. Yeah, I know. It's really great.
Oh, I wish I could take a picture of the pile, but I can't.
We'll probably be able to take a picture once we get closer to the game day. We have everything all stacked up at the field, maybe.
I know, but I want to do like a DuckTales, like dive into it and swim around in piles of stuff.
I saw a Family Guy edition of that when he dives into the coins.
And it
like,
hurts?
It's not like water! No!
It's not! It's
what did I think that it would be?
Yeah.
No, it's absolutely hilarious, though. No, we should definitely... that could be actually a pretty funny skit. Somebody was saying, Josh, are you wearing a tactical sweater? I'll be the first to say that neon green is not the most concealing of colors.
It's like green and yellow, man.
Yeah, it's definitely not the most concealing. This would probably glow in the dark hat if I had a flashlight on it. So.
Matthew Morgan. Bob, can you say hi to my grandmother? Her name is Betsy. Hello, Betsy Morgan. Josh, say hello.
Oh, how do you know her last name is Morgan? That's a bit assumative, isn't it? Hello, Betsy.
Fine. Hello, Betsy. Okay.
It could be on his dad's.
No, you're right. I
he didn't say which grandmother.
I assume.
It's tough.
Okay. All right. So that is at least a small sampling of what Lancer Tactical is going to be giving away. I was actually on a side note that's probably not important to a lot of you guys out there. I went out to we went out to ITS and Lancer Tactical brought like a cooler full of Lancer Tactical water bottles.
Dude, that was like saving grace.
That saved my ass.
Yeah, that was a lot of water, or not a lot of water. But it was nice to have it there.
We need if they didn't have that there, like a lot of us would have just been out for the count. But I looked at the list. I was like, Lancer Tactical water bottles. Yeah. so
water bottles are like people. Seriously, I can't state this enough. Every time I go to an Airsoft game, there's always somebody, always at least one person who's like, oh, I didn't bring any water. I'm gonna go get some from the store, or they come off the field and they're like literally exhausting themselves. They don't have any water. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
What were you thinking?
Hydrated. Yeah. Hydration is like one of the most important things on the Airsoft field.
Like the worst is like, dude, don't you have a hydration carrier on? No, bro, that's weight.
Yeah, you're just like, carrying water is probably one of the most essential things. Yes.
Yeah.
So seriously, if you guys aren't bringing water, get on it. Get a hydro carrier or something. All right,
see? It's Betsy Morgan, and she said hi.
Oh, good. Perfect. I'm happy.
I was correct.
I'm happy. I just wanted to make sure. I wouldn't want to offend anybody. She's going to watch it later. Gotta make sure it's right shot.
Okay. All righty.
Let's scroll up a bit and see if there's any cool questions. Oh, jeez. I know. I saw that one. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What are some tips to play CQB with a long gun like a Lancer AK, like the one you just showed? What's some tips? You play with an AK, don't you?
They must be talking about the tactical AK because the Lancer AK-74U is actually very compact.
Right.
I would say like playing with a long airsoft gun in CQB, it can be a bit daunting at times. There's this one trick that a friend of mine, a Marine friend of mine, showed me that when you're going around a corner, you can put your gun around and blind fire, which you're not supposed to do, you shouldn't do, and most fields disallow it. But a really cool technique to at least be able to see your target and still be able to fire in the corner with your gun is to basically take the front carry handle, or basically the handle you put on the rail kit so you can hold it like that.
Yeah.
You bring it back and use your thumb to shoot the gun, so you look around the corner like that with your gun just underneath you, and you can fire.
No, that probably makes a lot of sense. I would not see. I don't know if that still qualifies as. I mean, you have to. The target, right?
There are some places that say you have to shoulder your weapon, and in that place, that rule doesn't work. Another place where it says you have to see your target, that rule works. It was actually really effective when I have an M16A4 from G&G. An M16 is a long gun.
Yeah,
and
it's not small.
I literally brought my gear bag to Tax City, and I was like, cool, my M4 CQB is an M16. So I had to just suck it up.
Another really easy tactic to do when you do have a longer gun is to slice the pie from a little farther back.
Correct.
Just take maybe half a step back, honestly, till your barrel is pretty well lined up with your wall, and then just kind of start slicing that pie. And that's not really too difficult to do, but having long guns in CQB is really, it is a little bit not as effective. I definitely see some guys out there running with some KMP9s, MP7s, really, really short guns, and they're just running full speed to get to the next barrier. So.
But I usually, with my KnP9, I usually have the stock out and a barrel extension on, which kind of lengthens the gun. So
this is true.
But I just like how it looks.
Right. Yeah. You care more about the aesthetics than, I guess, the form sometimes.
Well, as long as I die looking good, I'm still a happy camper. So.
See, I guess that's different mentalities. If you don't want to die,
I'm not there to compete. I mean, I'm going to win a medal in the
Airsoft's
Olympics
game rounds.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Looking cool is literally like half the battle.
It's also like that's part of having fun. It's like, yeah, Dad, but look how cute I did.
It's even funny, like, we were looking at some of the pictures from the game day that you guys had, and Daniel's, like, laying on the ground, faking dead, and you're coming in to, like, get the patch from him.
I got this.
And I was just like, man, like, I wish that somebody would institute a thing where if you got shot, you had to actually pretend like you really got shot. Like, I think cinematic deaths are always so entertaining to me. I love seeing some. That's why I like watching Jet's videos, because he's always very cinematic when he dies.
He tries to. Sometimes he doesn't, but, like, when he has a camera, he's there.
Or sometimes when he really falls and, like, falls into the ditch, like in the intro for Charlie's video. That is hilarious to me.
Do you remember when it was during the first Hunger Games, and I told you, I think maybe it was before this, but I was like, hey, Jet, make sure not to step on that car window because it looks like it's going to fall apart.
Yeah,
and he's like, okay, bro. And then the game starts, he just steps right on it and gets caught. I'm like, weren't you in the military? Like,
we just talked about this.
No, but he's probably one of the most fun Airsoft players to play with, in my opinion. He's a funny guy.
I would love to see some field just institute like you have to die.
Dude, this doesn't have anything to do with Airsoft deaths, but when I went out to SC Village this Saturday, Jet was there filming what is now live on his channel. It's like the Russian mercenary at the EVA tryouts. And I turned around and I saw him. I saw someone who I thought looked like him. He had the Russian mercenary get up on. Yeah. And then I turned around again and I seen him doing push-ups and humping a soccer ball. I was like, what is going on over there? Aren't those tryouts?
Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen the video, head over to Jet's channel. Check it out. Jet the Desert Fox. Good friend of ours. Really good guy.
Yeah.
Quite funny. He says salmon weird, which I find really...
Salmon?
Salmon, yeah. Let's answer some questions from the chat, see what you guys are thinking, and see if we can get some questions answered. So, Airsoft GI Josh. Hey, Josh, I just got into the Polar Star systems. What PSI do you run your DMR? I was wondering if you use a lower PSI or a higher PSI. Off the top of my head, I am not 100% what it's running at right now. We were detuning the gun and kind of messing around with it to see if we can increase the accuracy a little bit.
Detuning?
Yeah, originally it was shooting... I think it was around 3 joules, and we were trying to get the PSI down a little bit so we weren't using so much air every time that we shot the gun. But Polar Stars do take a little bit of fine-tuning. I don't know off the top of my head, Kevin Tan. Please add me on Facebook. As soon as I find out, I will let you know. But yeah, the gun is still being tuned, hopefully for Operation Reclamation 2. I'll be bringing that out there to just have some fun. So, let's keep going down the question. What else do we have?
All right. Should we answer this one?
That one. Tim is at work right now.
Yes. Brian Devine, where's Tim? Tim is currently at work.
Yeah.
Which may or may not be here.
So that's not.
Let's see. Airsoft yeah, Bob. I want an optic that won't break when shot up. What optics do you have that won't shatter when shot? I don't want those weird covers for the optics that cost $30 for plastic. Dang it, that's what I'm going to recommend. Now, what's really tough is that just about any optic I know of...
I got one.
Okay, well, just about any optic I know of that is just, glass or plastic or has like a lens you look through and has no other protective device in front, if it gets shot, it's going to break, generally, unless you're getting shot with a Springer from far away. But there are some optics that do have sunshades on them that will generally outlast any BB hits you're going to take or will last vastly longer. The other suggestion is getting a plastic or polymer BB shield, which actually does work. There are some BB shields that do break after, maybe 3 shots, and there are others that have been tested to withstand hundreds of rounds. Right. So, you may not want to spend $30 for plastic, Jet the Boss, but I guess it's almost like an insurance policy. If you find a BB shield that is going to last more than 3 shots without breaking, it's vastly better to spend $30 than risk your sight if your sight is quite a bit more expensive than that. But right. Josh, you have a suggestion?
Yeah, the Lancer Tactical. It's either Lancer Tactical or Bravo that makes this. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head the brand, but there is T1 Style site on our website that has a kill flash integrated into it.
That's what I was talking about. What did I say?
You said sunshade.
Oh, yeah, I meant kill flash.
Yeah, it's a kill flash. I wasn't sure what you were talking about. Yeah. But yeah, it's a kill flash on it that basically has a bit of mesh on the inside, I guess you would say. That's metal.
Yeah, it has a mesh covering so that you can look through it and you don't actually see really any of the mesh.
Yeah, but that would basically stop a BB. The other option is to get a little DIY. Go to Home Depot, get some acrylic, cut it out, figure out how to fit it into your lens, attach it in there, glue it in there, whatever you got to do. If you were that worried about it getting shot out, I mean, I can't think of...
The acrylic is a good way to go, but the downside of that, as opposed to paying the $30 for the BB optic shields, is the fact that the acrylic can sometimes be a bit, I don't want to say foggy, but it's like not as clear as the BB shields are.
Yeah.
So if you're not worried about like being able to see everything through it, then yeah, go get the acrylic. Just do it yourself at Home Depot. But the BB shields are easier to see through, in all honesty.
Yep, they're not bad at all. If you play a lot of CQB, honestly, like it's really worth it.
You see Mark's shoot, what is that site called? His EOTech. He has that glued in. He has acrylic glued into the front of the EOTech.
Yeah. Just so you can stop the bees from hitting it, because I think he's had one that's been shattered before. So
yeah, and then you had to buy another one.
Yeah, which sucks. I mean, nobody likes spending a ton of money on sites. So hope that answers your question. Those BB shields are pretty cool, though. All right, let's move down. Let's see what else we have. Or you can try the Tim method, where you put the stock over your shoulder. It should reduce the length.
He's talking about going around a corner, or at
like
least
this.
Yeah,
put the stock
Tim
up.
does do that.
I have seen him do that before.
We used to call that the paintball shoulder, because like you just shoulder up here, and in paintball they'd have the double finger trigger. So
it is kind of a paintball shooting technique.
No, it really is.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, what else we got?
Does Airsoft GI ship to Canada? Absolutely yes.
We do.
The lazy turtle. We do have some Canadian shipping policies. There are obviously some different rules for shipping over the border to Canada, but you can see on our guns whether or not they're Canadian compliant on the website, I believe.
You can, yep. We have a whole information section on the website. If there's anything you guys have questions about, please feel free to head over there, check it out. If you have any other questions, you can call our customer service, hit some of us up on Facebook, and we'll try to respond when we can. But for the most part, like pretty much most guns can make it over the border to Canada, with the only exception being really those low FPS CQB.
Yeah, I believe it has to be over 360 FPS, but I got to go look at the Canadian legal page. Yeah, you are correct. So, Bob, are you getting the Mega Arms MCAM LM4? No, but mainly because I already have an LM4 PTS. Why would I get another one?
This is very true. I mean, the PTS.
I love that gun. I love the LM4.
You really do love the LM4.
Yeah.
You've since you've gotten that, I've only seen you run your TMAK like once or twice.
And that was because
QnA has been collecting dust.
Well, I feel bad because like I have like a piece that DangerWorks Dave gave me to put on the MP9, but it's just like I haven't used the MP9 because like LM4 is so cool.
Yeah, no, it really does fulfill that like.
There's a movie I'm in.
Exactly.
Yeah, I only brought out the TMAK just because I was facing Tim, and I was like, I'm bringing out all the stops. I'm not here. I just
drum mag it up. Let's go.
Yeah, high cap 600 rounds. Let's do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I rarely use high caps, but that was the one time where I was like, I don't care. I just don't care. I want Tim.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that was fun.
Let's see. Bob and Josh, what do you guys think about GBB versus low cap AEG for realism / milsim?
What about this guy? Should we mention this comment?
I mean, probably would not be a good idea to do such things. Yeah,
that's rude.
What do you think, Bob? I mean, obviously, I think I already exactly know what your answer is going to be. You would definitely take a gas blowback over an AEG with low caps, I assume, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I am 1,000,000,000% the same way. It's not so much like that I don't like AEGs for realism. I mean, I run with the ERG occasionally. It is really fun. I think it's just like the whole, like, just the gun itself. Like, I can break down an LM4, swap out a bolt, put in a low-power bolt, close it up, and I'm good to go. Like, it's just how realistically close to an M4 it is that really does it for me. That pushes it over the edge of being, like, more than just, an airsoft gun, I guess you would say.
I think the reaction of service members is as telling as you can get about that gun. Because I remember Brian, who now works here, I think the day after he got out of the Marine Corps, he was in our walk-in store, and Daniel came and was like, Brian, look at this gun. And he's like, oh, cool, M4, Oh, it's gas. All right, neat. Oh, metal on the outside. Cool. Cracked it open, and every Marine is familiar with his rifle. Yeah. Cracked it open. He's like, "Oh my God, it's just like my service rifle. This is so cool." Yeah. Anyway, he just had a nerdgasm in our sales force. That was really fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. The guns are just really cool, especially if you're going for that realism situation. This kind of ties into the same question. Minchel Seol. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I apologize. I butchered it profusely. But he says, Bob, Josh, RM4 or LM4. And once again, I think they fill different roles. I mean, the RM4 can definitely be used for training. For me personally, I love just having a high cap with that thing and just having recoil and just going out there and having fun. I'm using it for the totally unintentional purpose. But if I'm going to use my realistic gun, I want to use my LM4 for training or anything like that. I mean, What do you think?
I'm generally going to go with an LM4, but I do like the RM4 is the only other gun. Well, not the only other gun. The gun that I most wanted this year, just because it has a lot of recoil. And I want that middle ground of not having to rely on gas in cold temperatures or having like the gas gets too hot in warmer temperatures, but still having that same recoil. So that's why I really like the RM4. Now I would be more enthused actually if there's an AK version of that, because I would love to have an AK option as opposed to the LM4.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, obviously there's a gas AK put out by KWA.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I did make you aware of this, but the RM4s are actually going to be rear-wired pretty soon.
I did hear that, yeah.
So we're talking about the ability to put on whatever rails you want, which is going to be really, really nice. And, that's something I didn't even think about, Bob, is weather conditions. Not everybody lives in the weather that we have down here in Southern California, so I have it probably the best that it possibly could be for Airsoft. So I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to that situation because I don't have to worry about weather conditions. I can take my gas gun out pretty much whenever I want and play with it. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it is a bit of a different situation to think about. I
actually saw someone comment on my mini Tactical Gearheads at SC Village. Like, well, it must be nice to be able to use that LM4 year round.
In January.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just kind of different ideas. So somebody was asking really quick. Zach Land Casey Dalton says, Josh, what parts are proprietary on the SR7? I saw your AEG versus gas little bit video, and I like your SR7 build. I'm not a very big technical person as far as opening gearboxes and stuff goes. I usually just talk to the techs and I'm like, hey, I want to make this really cool. Obviously. I want to make this really cool. What do you guys suggest? And they usually tell me, hey, I would do this, I would do this. And I pretty much usually go with what they say because guess what? They have a crap ton more knowledge than I do. But the build for the SR7 is actually pretty simplistic. It's a VTAC rail with a black side suppressor with a G&G stock. Now, I did have to modify the stock. I hollowed out the tube a little bit to house my battery, which I didn't end up doing properly, and I did screw up some of my wires the first time through, but it's all fixed now. So yeah, that's pretty much the build for that gun. The magwell holder is made by Fab Defense. It's a standard trigger. Everything else is pretty much the same. I threw some MP7 iron sights on there because I thought they looked neat. But yeah, that's pretty much the build for my SR7. It is a pretty cool little gun. I definitely miss having my AEG around. I need to put it back together. But yeah, as far as proprietariness goes, I always hear people saying that KWA has proprietary stuff, but I've never run into that, I guess, in my personal thing yet. Like, I dropped Siege Tech gears in there and they worked. I put a MOSFET in and it worked. So, I don't know. I guess maybe people are having other issues that I'm not aware of, but...
KWA does use proprietary parts on parts of their gun, yeah.
Okay, well, I like I said, I put parts in mine and it worked just fine, so I don't know what those parts are. Maybe there's some parts that are very specific to the KWA lineup, but it worked just fine for me. So if you want to replicate that gun, you should have no problem doing it. It's mostly external builds, but the gearbox does have a bit of stuff worked around inside of it. So, yeah, I don't know. So
now I want to mention this one because I was talking to Gene about this recently. What are your guys' favorite bullpup platforms?
My favorite bullpup platform, hands down, goes to the KSG shotgun.
Oh, damn it, John.
That's
why you have to say things that I totally agree with.
It's just I really love the design of that gun. I think it's amazing. You put you get a long barrel and a short gun, shotgun shells, a whole bunch of capacity, and it's a small gun. That's right up my alley as far as fun stuff goes.
If you guys are not familiar with the KSG shotgun, that is a real steel firearm that actually we got to shoot at last year's SHOT Show.
I didn't get to fire it.
No, I did.
Yeah, well, it seems only like 2 media badges. So.
Yeah, well, that shouldn't mention that. Okay, so now what's cool about that is it's actually going to come out for Airsoft in the near future, I believe by Mad Bull, right?
Yes.
And it's going to come out for $100, supposedly.
I've heard, rumor mill, obviously, we can't confirm or deny this, but apparently GMP might be OEMing it. So if we get a really nice GMP-made KSG shotgun, I would totally put down $100 for that. Go get the side saddle, throw it up on top of there, put my extra shells in there, and just make it look a lot of fun. So,
there are a couple other bullpup. There's one other bullpup gun I wanted to mention because before you said the KSG shotgun, I was thinking of something else. I do like the Tavor. I have had some friends that have rocked out with it. There are some affordable ones on the market that have had some problems, but some of the higher end ones are pretty darn awesome. And generally, it's just I think a cool looking gun in addition to really fun one to take out.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I mean, okay, so let's say not the shotgun. Let's say we have to choose some kind of a platform that fires a not red fire cartridge, center fire cartridge. I guess I would probably have to go with Oh man, I don't know. That's tough. There's a lot of really cool bullpup. Do you ever see that 50 cal bullpup?
Yes.
Pretty cool looking.
The sniper rifle?
Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. I don't know, it's kind of tough. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of people as of right now that are producing really, really cool bullpups. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of cool ones. The 50 cal one would probably be pretty cool. I would love to shoot that thing just to see how it is.
I personally would rather have something that at least can deaden the recoil a little bit. I mean, the recoil on the 50 cal that I shot, which wasn't bullpup, was pretty manageable. But I would assume on a bullpup gun, or at least like it didn't look like there was much room for the bolt to go back and have a lot of cushioning. So
gotcha. It's maybe a little harder on the shoulder there.
I mean, like, can you think of a bolt? I've seen bolt action 50 cals. Like that goes all to your shoulder.
Yeah, you're going to be feeling that one for sure.
Yeah.
This is kind of an interesting question that I have yet to really see. A radioactive seal, cool name by the way, says, "Hey, I found out the hard way how hard it is to notice when you're hit sometimes. So I stopped wearing vests because I don't want to cheat. It's very honorable of you, and I admire your honor. But what can I do to continue to wear my vests?" So, I mean, this happens, honestly, more than I think people really talk about.
Yep.
You get loaded down, you got all your kit on, you're feeling like a total superhero badass out of a film, and you sometimes don't notice you get hit because you're running, you've got comms going on in your ears, you know, your pack is moving in your back, you get hit, and you don't feel it. You're not aware of what's happening. And it's kind of one of those things where, like, I, for instance, if I hear a BB even come near me, I usually just call it. Like, I mean,
a lot of it goes right by you.
I mean, I try to be as reasonable and fairness as I can, but if, like, I run across the open thing and, like, a buddy behind me gets shot and the guy in front of me gets shot, I should probably make some assumptions. Yeah, exactly. But with that being said, one of the things that I've found is these hollow stappy plates that you can buy off of our website. They make a pretty distinct noise when a BB hits them. Because it's hollow inside, so you can really hear it a little more so than just maybe, say, the fabric. But then again, if you're wearing comms, it can be a bit difficult. I mean, I really can't think of any workarounds. What do you?
What I've done over the years is that, I mean, to be honest, like I don't want to play for the rest of my airsoft career without wearing tack gear. But, you know, again, that is a very honorable thing to do. So I do commend you for that. What I've done is, you know, I basically try to listen as hard as I can for, you know, BBs hitting gear. And generally, I know at the last game that we all went out and played, there was a time where I heard BBs hitting gear, and I looked around because I was like, all right, that sounds like my gear, but it sounds a little further away than it should be. And I turned around and Mark was getting just lit up. I was like, okay, that wasn't me, that was him.
Yeah.
The tough part is that sometimes, like a lot of fields, they say if you get hit with ricochets, it doesn't count. So sometimes, like, it's really tough to tell the difference between a ricochet and an actual hit.
Yeah.
So in those situations, I generally just call it because you don't want to be that guy that, like, you know, you get shot with that 1 in a million sniper shot and you think it's a ricochet, so you don't call it.
Yeah, because I mean, I have been on the other end of that, shooting that long shot, and somebody,
I was there for that.
Somebody not realize I hit them.
He knew.
He knew I hit him.
You waved at him.
Yeah, and he waved back, but it was kind of just like I don't mean to call people out who don't call their hits. It frustrates me, and everybody deals with it. But at the same time, it is kind of one of those things that's a little difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just don't hear it. Sometimes you don't know. And that's where, you know, us being good players to each other comes out. Like, hey, I shot that guy. He didn't call it. It's like you can yell out, "Hey, I shot you. Call your hits." But like that doesn't make you look like a good player, so to speak. So I don't know. It's kind of a catch-22. Like I love wearing tactical gear, but at the same time, I don't also want to be that guy that doesn't call his hit. You know?
Yeah, I try not to call out other people. I generally tell the refs, like, hey, you know, I think I shot this guy. Just you know, take a look at it. But also, like, another good thing that I did this weekend, but I also try to do as much as I can is, like, when a player on my team obviously gets hit and he doesn't know, I usually just tap him on the shoulder like, hey, player, you actually got hit. You should probably go out.
Yeah, and honestly, like I call my teammates out probably more than I call out the enemies. I mean, like if we run into a building and I hear my teammate get shot, he's like, oh, I'm not sure. Like, oh no, dude, you got shot, you're out. So, and I think that just kind of comes along with being a better community for everybody, so to speak. It's just kind of one of those things that happens sometimes. So yeah, let's see if we can find some more questions, answer some more CQB questions. You know, in CQB, you should know though. Like, I feel like you should know in CQB.
Here's the caveat with that. Like, you should know, but the thing is, sometimes CQB gets a bit loud.
Oh yeah, that's very
like
true.
You know, the thing in front of you is getting hit, and that's loud, and then someone backdoors you, and like you get hit, and you don't know. So I remember this one time. A guy had his boot sticking around the corner, and I was out of ammo on my M4 CQB, pulled out my 45, put the entire mag into his boot, and then he came around and heard something, and then just put his mag into the top of my head. I was like, you butthead, what were you doing? He's like, well, call your hit, man. I just shot you. I was like, dude, I was shooting your foot. The mag's gone. He's like, oh, it's steel toe boots. I'll go out. Okay.
Yeah, dang it. Sometimes it just happens. Yeah. You know, I've seen people get ricochets off their helmet, and they're like, is that
Was that me or was that something else?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't help that we're obviously trying to armor up the places that we're getting hit the most. You know what I mean? So we don't feel it as bad. But yeah, let's see what other questions we got, guys. If you guys have any questions related to playing CQB styles, which we will be doing a lot of this weekend at the Rebel Training Camp, which I'm very excited for.
It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I have yet to go up there and see how big of a facility it is, but I hear it's just massive.
I really want. I mean, I don't think Ross is gonna have near as much fun as you will, but I want you to get in the damn buggy with the thermal sight.
Oh no,
just click on the joystick and go. That's going to be so much fun for you.
No, I want to get I want to wear a GoPro and then like film that whole situation and then record a HUD and throw the Battlefield theme to it, throw the Battlefield HUD on there and just be like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think it'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, let's see what else we got question wise from you guys.
We got about 8 minutes left, so if you guys have any questions, throw them out now.
Yeah.
Hopefully the delay won't screw that up.
Get all crazy. What chest rig are you wearing? And also, that would be cool if you knew the price. This is the LBX 0094, and it comes in right around $150 to $160. Let's see.
Oh, I want to answer this one.
Go for it.
Hey Bob, what would you? Wow, the comments are going away. Hey Bob, what would you think about installing a GNP master key on your LM4? Back in the day, I would have been all for that. I actually used to be a huge fan of the master key setup. To be honest, though, I don't think it's as effective in Airsoft as one would lead it to believe. I mean, honestly, like you are shooting a shotgun from the hip, so it is going to be a little tougher, or well, not necessarily from the hip, but from a lower bracket than you would normally shoot a shotgun from. And from what I remember, most of the master key setups aren't actually like tri-shot shotguns; they're single-shot shotguns.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on this one, but for the most part, the ones I've seen are single shot, which kind of takes away the shotgun. Well, it takes most of it away, the shotgun aspect. So I could see the master key being very effective if, like, let's say you didn't want to rock a sidearm. That would be a good alternate thing to have, so you don't have to carry a sidearm. You have the master key down there. But I would honestly, I would just always prefer, instead of having a shotgun down there, I'd rather have a grenade launcher. Yeah.
I think in that situation, I mean, if you're talking about things that you can mount under your gun to be more effective, personally, I would pretty much always choose a grip or a light, or I don't know. If I had to take like some kind of a thing on the bottom of my gun that would enable me to shoot a little bit more, I'd probably take a SCAR, throw on the EGLM, and just shoot people, because I think it's a cool looking setup.
It's a grenade launcher.
Yeah, it is a grenade launcher. Yeah. So same thing as you. I mean, I guess in my mind, that's like a last ditch, like, oh crap. Pull the thing and boom, I want to just have a massive spray to kill as many guys as I can. And pulling it once and having one BB come out for an attachment to the body of your gun just really doesn't seem worth it for me personally.
Not really, especially because the master key stuff's usually kind of expensive.
Yeah, so I'm going to let Bob try to pronounce this name for the...
Which one? Yusuke?
Yeah, Yusuke Kimura.
Yeah.
Yusuke Kimura says, Josh, I really didn't catch what you said. You mentioned there was some kind of insert for the plate carrier that is hollow, making unique sound. What is that? These are called dummy sappy plates. Lancer Tactical has them.
Dummy plates. Basically, the body armor you'd wear normally inside that, besides the Kevlar cloth armor, is the plate. Now, for a long time, since as far as I've been... a long time since I've been airsofting, they've had fake plates you can put in here just to at least fill out the vest. But I believe the original purpose, and again, I could be wrong, the original purpose of the plates when I bought them was for training as well, because most of the sappy plates I saw had holes in the top where you could fill them with sand so you could have the realistic weight, which I would never in my life do. I've airsofted with plates, real plates in my gear on a total of 2 occasions, and on both occasions I regretted it.
I believe on both occasions I do remember you pulling out those plates a little early.
No. I didn't actually pull them out early. I looked at Andrew. I was like, Andrew, you still run your plates? 'Cause I'm going to feel like a sissy if you are and I don't. He's like, oh, no, bro. I took those out 2 games ago. I was like, what? You asshole.
Oh, that sounds like something Andrew.
Yeah. So I was worried about my knee.
Yeah, so Yusuke, I hope that answers your question. Radioactive Sim replied, thanks, guys. I actually didn't know you had those hollow plates. Yeah, cool. Make sure you take advantage of that, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I play CQB and they blast music. I've been to a couple of places that do that.
I actually do like the places that do that, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of fun because sometimes a single shot can really eliminate the surprise, and just give away your position very, very quickly.
Also depends on the music.
This is true. Yeah. I mean, we get down some...
I'm a wrecking ball.
Wow.
Yeah, I just saw a music video this weekend, and it was awful.
For the first time. Really catching up on the...
I've seen snippets of Wrecking Ball, but then I finally was at a Korean barbecue place, and they put a whole thing.
I just want to clarify really quick. Bob is about... Oh, man.
What are these beats?
Bob's probably about 5 to 6 years behind on any current music that's happening.
I'm really big on classic rock.
Yeah, so... If you like classic rock, you got a friend over here.
Yeah, the first concert I ever went to was Journey. Hey, from Matthew Northrup. Hey, I have a CQB question about a ATP full auto from Bob perspective. I'm not exactly sure what the question is, but I can tell you the ATP auto is a very good gun for CQB because not only you have semi, but you also have auto, and you're just going to have a very large magazine capacity if you do get the larger mags. So I think that is a great option for full auto because you're going to have essentially a machine pistol as well as a semi-automatic pistol. So if you get a lot of mags for the ATP auto, you'll be right as rain for your entire CQB career.
Yeah, definitely. The auto pistols are a lot of fun to have. You can really dump the mags pretty quick in those, probably less than 2 seconds. I think we timed it out when we did the videos. But there's actually a couple other pistols that people may not know about. They can also do full auto capability, and that is the M&P9C from Spartan, as well as the full-size one that's coming out really soon, which I'm kind of excited to get. I want to get one of those.
There's also the KWA M93R.
Yes, which has
3-shot burst.
Yeah, and there's a CO2 45 Extreme something. I can't remember the name of the company.
Yeah, that's right.
But it is full auto. We have a cool clip of that from the top 5 that I saw, and I was just like, man, this guy's hosing some dudes down. Yeah, so a lot of fun. We'll refresh, try to get a couple more questions in there for you guys. We only have about 6 minutes left. Bob, what is your favorite classic rock band?
I mean, honestly, because it's the first concert I went to, and it's one of my dad's favorites, and I just fell in love with them. Kiss is awesome, but I would say probably Journey. Led Zeppelin is pretty darn close there too. I'm a really big fan of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, for me personally, it's a pretty big toss-up. I mean, Pink Floyd.
That's a good one.
Led Zeppelin. Early. Bear with me here. Early Aerosmith. It's got a lot of really good songs. Recent stuff, not so much. But yeah, that's probably my 3 at the moment. Also, The Doors.
I should have recently gotten to Rush a little bit too.
Rush.
After reading Ready Player One, I was like, oh, I gotta listen to Rush now.
Yeah, I actually I am not really into that Rush that much. I've only heard probably maybe 2 songs. So if you guys have any good Rush songs and you really like them, send them to me on my Facebook. I'd love to hear them. So let's try to get some actual questions. Playwolf253, how are you today, Bob and Josh? That's a very good question. Nobody asked that question ever,
I'm pretty darn good. I got a lot of stuff going on that I'm trying to just make sure. I feel like I'm doing a juggling act right now with a lot of different things, but I'm overall pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing pretty well. I just got back from a really fun trip. I'm doing pretty well. I'm very happy. I'm really excited to go to this game this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Today's been pretty good. I got a lot of editing done. I talked to some people on Facebook and Reddit, so I like to keep up in the community, if you will. So yeah, today's going pretty well. So thank you for asking that. I really appreciate it. Nobody ever does.
I appreciate it too.
Yeah, thank you.
I actually want to say something that I'm really excited for. I'm excited to trash either you and or Ross in Axis and Allies.
Oh, well, I mean, now that you think...
because after the last game, I just it was pretty rough.
I just want you to know there's actually some stuff on the line as far as betting on who's going to win and what they might have to wear the following day at the game. I'll have to inform you about that a little bit later.
But you guys aren't going to be like front and center of the game. You guys are going to be like filming or playing.
That's why it's a bit of a risky for you.
It's not risky for you guys.
Hey, you know what? People know who I am, Bob. I go places. I got recognized at Chipotle one time.
Really?
And yeah, I was at Chipotle. We were doing a video, and a little kid came up to me, and I was wearing like full BDUs. I had like multicam bottoms, my work shirt on, and a multicam hat. And he's like, "Are you Airsoft GI Josh?" And I was just like, yes. Like, who else is going to be wearing full BDUs in Chipotle? You can add me on Facebook, Nuclear Hamster. These are some really good names today. Nuclear Hamster, Radioactive Seal. You can add me on Facebook. My Facebook
know
name
each other.
Is Airsoft GI Josh. You can just find that. It's pretty cool. So itch that shoulder. I will itch that shoulder.
Bob, on your hat. Huh?
I don't know.
Huh. Well, actually, it's good to mention because we are going to have to end the show right now. If you guys ever seen the show Parks and Recreation. Oh, really?
Yeah, see, because we started 3 minutes late, remember?
Oh, but...
well, if you want to go.
No, I can stay. I thought we had to clock out.
No, we're good. We're good.
If you guys have ever seen the show Parks and Recreation, this is actually a hat from the show. This is from City of Pawnee, Indiana.
Nice.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I know, right?
I really need to get into that show. I've seen a couple episodes and I laughed profusely.
I think the guy you like on the show is, I think his name is Andy. He's like just this...
I've seen him. Yeah. He's absolutely hysterical.
Too funny. He's
the guy in crutches in the first season, right?
Bingo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else?
You got to answer that one.
Which one?
Drew4949. Bob, do you play League of Legends? Yes, I'm the best in the world. No, I don't play. But I know someone who does.
Yeah, I used to play League of Legends quite a bit. I have since quit the game because it is too time consuming and it makes me rage too much and it fills me full of emotions that I don't want to feel.
You were having fun for a while.
I only played all random on middle because
That's
it's very, very fun. It's a quick game type. I can get in and play. When I did originally play, I did get to Challenger once or twice. A lot of fun. I was very competitive when I do play games, but I don't play anymore simply because I don't have the time. Airsoft GI and playing Airsoft and talking to Airsofters and just being a part of this community really, honestly, takes up a lot more time than you would think.
Yes.
I got to hang out with people like freaking Jet's always bothering me. I got to hang out with Bobby Axman all the time. Tim's coming over. It's just so many people I got to talk to and deal with all the time, you know?
I was going to Instagram this, but I thought it might be interpreted the wrong way and cast aspersions on Jet's character.
Okay.
But I'll tell you and our entire live audience.
Hey, little insider info.
I hope Jet is here because, Jet, you left your pants at my place the other night.
I saw those on the couch and I thought to myself, man, Jet really needs to stop undressing at our house. So
I know, really.
It's getting a bit out of control.
Seriously, your pants are at my place.
Yeah, seriously, come get them. So
we should actually, we should do some. Like, we should play around with his pants since he left them there.
Poor choice. You ever see tie dye? You like tie dye?
You mean tie dye shirts?
Yeah, we could do I want to do like a multicam tie dye. I've always wanted to do like tie dye with like tactical colors.
Huh.
I think it'd be interesting.
See, I was thinking of like hiding booby traps in the pockets and crotch.
That would be, or leaving love notes. So you're just on the field. Josh really appreciates you.
Look behind you.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody asked earlier, do I play Ash? Ash used to be my main character. I really like playing Ash. She is a lot of fun. What else we got? It's actually exactly 1 hour. We have been on live shows. We do have to go home because it is that part of the day. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the live show and had fun hanging out. A lot of cool new LBX gear. Make it out to the training camp. Bob, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, if you guys at all want to go, make sure to hit up airsoftgi.com and buy your tickets for Bob's Rebel Training Camp this weekend, February 8th at GamePod Combat Zone. I dare say you're going to have a really big chance at getting something in a raffle because there's a lot of cool stuff. So make sure to hit up the Rebel Training Camp, and we will see you here next Tuesday for another live show.
Exactly, guys. Have a good one.